Hey everyone, it's Talia here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are going to sort through and organize this giant box of a whole bunch of different Swarovski crystal embellishments. If you watched my recent organizing my Swarovski crystal video, then you will remember me showing you guys this box full of a whole bunch of Swarovski crystals that I have gone into my collection over honestly the last couple of years, and they've just been sitting in a drawer driving me nuts, and it's time to better organize them. My first step is to organize everything into their respective piles. I'm taking the stuff that I have gotten from Michaels, put it in one pile, and then I'm taking the stuff that I've gotten from other companies that need to be reworked back into my previous Swarovski crystal system, putting them in another pile. Let's do a little haul, shall we? These giant Swarovski crystals are actually for a DIY project that I will film a video on when I complete that. I fell in love with these pink pearls. I cannot wait to use these on a client coming up soon. I love these metal frame Swarovskis, and I think that they would look so good surrounded by a whole bunch of tiny ones as well. They come in a whole bunch of different colors and a whole bunch of different metallic finishes. These AB crystals are pretty big. I've used them in a couple Watch Me Work videos before. I love these little combo packs from Michaels because you can get a good idea of a whole bunch of different colors and shades. I love the pearls that Michaels offers. They usually have a whole bunch of different colors. I specifically love the gray ones, and I can't wait to use those. Okay, this is my second pack of these golden shadow ones. I think they are so pretty. Now there are two different color of black ones at Michaels with the metallic rim on them, so I just wanted to show you the difference. Any of the crystals in these sort of packaging I get from Canada Nail Supplies, so I picked up a whole bunch of different ones here of a bunch of different crystals I was running out of throughout the last couple of months. I get the crystal pixies from a few different places. Canada Nail Supplies or Can West both carry them. Now I'm just going to start working all of those crystals back into my organization system. If you guys have any questions as to where I get the containers from or how I'm organizing, definitely make sure you check out my organizing Swarovski crystal video because all of the information is in that video. This rose peach color is one of my favorite Swarovski crystal colors. When you're emptying the really fine crystals out of the bags, they can be kind of difficult, so if you blow a little bit of air into them, they come out a little bit easier. You might remember me covering my one client's nails in Swarovski crystals, and I use this container to hold all of those crystals so they are easier to get out of. When you order really large quantities of crystals from Rhinestones Unlimited, they sometimes come in this sort of packaging, which is a giant pain in the butt to get crystals out of. I actually find I waste a whole bunch of crystals with this packaging, and it's super frustrating. Though, keep in mind, I have had these packages in my possession since before I went on maternity leave, so just about 2 years ago, and I've been working out of that packaging instead of putting them back into the little storage containers. So I think if you were to empty it right away, it wouldn't have been this much of a pain in the butt. Some of the crystals that I added to my shopping list in the previous video, I now realize that I already had them in my collection, so I'm just taking my list and crossing off the ones that I already have and don't need to order from Canada Nail Supplies. This backup crystal section is a whole bunch of my most used Swarovski crystals. I'm just working some of these larger packaging back into those collection. I had some SS9s and I also had some SS5s that needed to be put into these containers. Getting back to these Michaels crystals, I first decided that I was going to organize them in the exact same containers that I had all the rest of my crystals into, but this turned out to be a giant waste of time because you guys are going to see that I went through 3 storage systems before I really liked how the organization of these unique crystal shapes came together. These containers would definitely work for storing these crystals, but I kind of came to the conclusion that I liked them to be all grouped together instead of individualized just because they are so unique. So then I turned to these containers that I got from Winners, and they are from the BoxBox brand. I liked how it's all laid out in one large container, but I also liked how big the containers were because I thought it would be way easier to kind of grab everything out of them. So I'm just taking the time to empty all of those round containers into the BoxBox container. I had never heard of this Swarovski crystal color called Paradise Shine. It is stunning though, but I'm going to work it back into the Swarovski crystal organization that I featured in the last video. I really wish I would have thought the organization of these pearls out ahead of time, but sometimes you never know what you're going to like until you actually get them into the organization system. So after a lot of thought and actually I think like a few hours, I decided that I didn't like how that turned out. My biggest concern with the system from BoxBox is that if I were to drop it, all of those crystals would go all over the place. So I decided to move them to this container. This container is from Canada Nail Supplies. Part of my reasoning for moving all of my Swarovski crystal pearls into these containers is that I don't plan to get a lot of them in, so small containers will work really well. I also like that these containers are really easy to open, but they still seal really well. I also like that if you're going to use a bunch of different ones, you can easily just take the individual compartments out, dump it onto your crystal trays, and you're good to go. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, but sometimes with organization, you just have to do trial and error to see what works. So I had a few bad nail tech moments with these particular crystals, and I accidentally dumped I think there's like 4 different shades of gold into one container, and I really just don't care to take the time to sort through it. So what I'm actually going to do is just put them into a new container, and this will just be considered the gold container. I did the exact same thing with my light turquoise and my blue zircon, which are beautiful shades of turquoise crystals. For now, I do not feel like sorting these all out though. This Swarovski crystal container is from Canada Nail Supplies, and actually all of these crystals are from Canada Nail Supplies too. This is where I keep my large Swarovski unique shaped stones, and I'm going to move these heart crystals into one of these containers. My last step is just to put all the crystals back in this storage container. Certainly make sure that I put the lid on top of it and get them all stacked up here. So I ended up having 4 complete containers of Swarovski crystals in these shapes. Then I also have the unique shapes in that Canada Nail Supplies organizer. And I also have the second pearl shape in the other organizer. And this is how they all turned out. I love how my storage system came together. Thank you guys so much for joining me in putting it all together. For now, the giant Swarovskis are just going to go in that IKEA storage unit. I have my pixies in the BoxBox container that you guys saw in my last video. I just keep these 2 unique shaped containers at the back. And my next project is organizing all of these 3D embellishments into my new containers that I picked up from Canada Nail Supplies. They are these black containers that you guys saw in my previous video, and I think these systems are going to work really well for purging and reorganizing all my 3D embellishments. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. What organization projects do you guys need help with in your nail studio? Comment below and let me know. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!